The BBC have said to me, we have no plans to ban you. When Basil's seen upon the screen, you can't help laughing, can you?
Thank you very much. Well, here we are again, and I must say it's marvellous to be back with you all. This is the first show in a brand new series, and as usual, Basil's been terrifying the life out of everybody in the theatre. 5 minutes ago, he hadn't even turned up. But he's just come whizzing through the door like a comet. And here he is, that star with a tail, Basil Brush.
Hello, everybody. And hello, Mr. Derek.
Basil, this is the first show in the series, and you're late.
Yes, I'm very sorry. I got here as quick as I could. Mr. Derek, do you have to stand up there? You give me a pain in the neck.
Well, that makes a change.
Huh?
It's usually the other way around.
Oh, well, come down here a minute. Come on, come down here.
Oh, all right.
That's better. Comfy?
Yes, thank you very much.
Good. Look at that. The programme's only been on the air 3 minutes, and already he's lying down on the job.
Now, don't be cheeky. And what's all this stuff you've got here?
Oh, that's my luggage. Yes, I've carted it all the way from Oxford. I did think someone would be at the stage door to give me a hand.
Well, what about that big commissionaire that used to help you with your bags on the last series?
Oh, my Irish friend, you mean?
Yes.
No, that's no good. He's left the country. He's gone abroad. He's got a job in China.
Well, what job can an Irishman do in China?
He works in the paddy fields.
You haven't told us yet why you had to come all the way from Oxford.
Haven't I? Oh, well, I've been doing pantomime at the new theatre. Cinderella. Oh, I've had a marvellous time. Everybody's been so nice to me. Yes. Except the ugly sisters, of course. They're baddies. Don't like baddies. Right. Yeah. Especially when they're ugly baddies. They're a blooming sight worse.
Well, are they really ugly?
Ugly? You take the first sister, Lavinia. Please. She's so ugly, when she sucks a lemon, the lemon pulls a face. And the other one, Lucinda. You know that expression, when I look at you, time stands still?
Yes.
Well, that applies to Lucinda. Her face could stop a clock.
What are you doing with this apple?
Huh?
You didn't pinch it from the Beatles, did you?
Good gracious me, no. That's not an apple. That's a pumpkin, you bumpkin.
Oh, a pumpkin.
Yes, it's a magic pumpkin. Every night in the pantomime, the fairy queen turns this pumpkin into a fairy coach so that Cinderella can go to the ball. Yes, and I thought to myself, well, now the pantomime is finished, they won't need it anymore. And if I take it back to London, well, I can change it into a coach and get around the West End. I mean, it'll be very easy to park. I mean, a traffic warden wouldn't put a parking ticket on a pumpkin, would he?
Basil, look.
What? Huh?
A transistorized Dolly Bird.
Oh, I say. That's my fairy queen friend, Mr. Derek. Fairy queen, what are you doing here?
The pumpkin I have come to get. The panto isn't finished yet.
Not finished yet, Basil. You're in trouble.
If I don't return the pumpkin before Cinderella goes to the ball, I shall be in trouble with Nuff.
Nuff? Who's Nuff?
The National Union of Fairies. N-U-F, Nuff.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Before the pantomime should end, this pumpkin back to work I'll send.
Oh, oh, I see.
Fantastic.
Before I say goodbye to you, remember, you must be there too.
Oh.
Well, Basil, you've certainly caused some bother there. You must get back there as soon as you can.
Yes, I must, mustn't I?
You're a nut.
Am I?
But I like you. Oh, Mr. Basil?
Yes, Mr. Dent.
Everybody sends their love to Basil Brush.
Well, thank you, Mr. D. You can tell them all from me. They're a lovely lot down here at Shepherd's Bush.
That should be Bush.
I'm awfully sorry. I made a fox part.
Then leave this introduction bit to me. It's a very special act, and he's smashing, that's a fact.
What's his name then, Mr. Derek?
It's Gil Dova, Mr. B.
Oh, of course. And here he is. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gil Dova.
I was going to say that.
You know, this is Basil's favourite book at the moment. Beaux Gestes, Adventures in the French Foreign Legion. You know, it's funny. The other day I had a dream that I was in the French Foreign Legion. And who do you think was my comrade in arms?
Oh, I like being in the Foreign Legion. I will rush the gallant legionnaire. I've got sand between me toes, in me eyes and up me nose, and in me ear, who, and everywhere. I don't know what I'm laughing at. Look at all that sand. God, doesn't the tide go out a long way? God. I wish I'd brought my bucket and spade. God, this is a boring job guarding this fort. All by myself and only for 5 francs a day. Still, as mon capitaine said, it is not the money, it is the fort that counts.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Oh, good afternoon. Nice day, isn't it?
Cordon bleu, it is hot.
Well, it certainly is hot. This afternoon I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. And there was a tree chasing the dog.
You are the new legionnaire replacement?
Oui? Yes. I mean, we.
Why did you join the Foreign Legion, mon ami? Your hat is coming off.
Leave it down there. Oh, well, actually, I thought I was joining the British Legion, but I went in the wrong door.
Men join the Legion for strange reasons.
Yes.
Some to fight for la belle France. Some just to forget.
Yes, that's why I joined.
What are you trying to forget, mon ami?
I can't remember.
Monsieur, we have the right one here.
Oh, no, my name's Brush, Legionnaire, Beau Brush, known to my friends as El Basil.
Why the L?
Well, that's exactly what I said. What is your nom?
A legionnaire direct le Fowlds at your service.
Oh, there's a letter here for you.
Oh.
Yes. And whoever sent it must be very short of water. The stamp's stuck on with a pin.
Good. The colonel is on his way to the fort with his relief column.
Huh?
When the regiment gets here, we shall have nothing to fear from the Rifts.
Rifts?
The Rifts are the rebel tribesmen who have joined forces with the Bedouin Arabs to attack the fort.
Bedridden Arabs? Oh, they shouldn't be much trouble.
They are led by the Sheikh El-Ransi, the scourge of the Sahara Desert.
Really?
Escargots in for attacking, and the ramparts. I die for the belle France.
Yes, that
Mon Dieu, l'ami.
Hey, shh. They've stopped firing.
So they have, mon ami. We have the victory.
Hey, I wouldn't be too sure of that if I were you. One of those bedridden Arabs has got out of bed.
But the main gate was barred and bolted. How did he get into the fort?
Well, it was so hot, I left the back door open to let the breeze come through.
Mon Dieu!
Oh, hey, wait for me! A lovely meal. What sort of meat was that?
That was roast sheep. Oh. You had enough to eat, Effendi?
Oh, yes, thank you very much. I got plenty of mutton, and mutton's plenty for me. I say, what were those little round things I ate?
They are an Arab delicacy always given to the guests of honor. The eyeballs of a sheep.
Sheep's eyeballs? Oh, I suppose they leave the eyeballs in to see them through the week. Hey, what's that smell? Cool, that's a real desert pong. Hey, see, your handbag's on fire. I see. Derek.
Yes.
Where are we exactly?
The Sheikh El-Ransi's camp.
Is he really? He's a very hospitable chap, isn't he?
That is what worries me, mon ami. Huh? The Sheikh is the sworn enemy of France. I am puzzled why he treats us like the honored guests. I do not trust him.
Well, he must be popular with some people. Look, he's got his own fan club. I say, Sheiky, Cheeky, old chap. That was a jolly nice dinner, but what's the catch?
I'm most glad you asked that question, Effendi. You are welcome in my humble tent. But I regret I must demand a small recompense for the hospitality you received.
I knew it. We've got to pay for our dinner. I'm sorry, cheeky old chap, but they only pay us 5 francs a day, and I'm skint.
I have a feeling, Basil, that the sheik does not want money from us.
That is quite true. You have a most discerning comrade, Effendi.
El Rancid, what do you want of us?
A little information, my friend, in return for which I offer you the hospitality of my tent, plus a little pecuniary reward, shall we say?
And if we don't give you this information?
I fear the alternative is painful, but my men enjoy it. Perhaps they will pluck out your tongues with a red-hot pincers, or bury you up to your necks in the sand and leave you to the scorpions.
Nasty, creepy things. Don't like scorpions.
On the other hand, this most painful and unpleasant business can be avoided if you tell me when your colonel will arrive with the relief column.
Never, El Rancid. We do not betray our comrades no matter what you do to us. We die for La Belle France. We always fight for what is right.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Seize him! Take him away! And torture him till he talks!
No, wait! Hang on a minute. Leave him alone, you rough riff. You can't torture my comrade. I couldn't stand all that screaming. It would give me a shocking headache. I'll tell you when the relief column is coming.
No, Babrush, do not be the traitor. Do not tell them.
Silence, you infidel dog!
Yes, silence.
Now, my little legionnaire, you will tell me on your honor when the relief column will arrive.
Right-o, Shiki. On my honor. Cub's honor. I used to be a cub, you know.
Quickly, my friend.
No, do not tell them.
Information. Silence, son of a camel!
God, all this blooming shouting. Oh.
Come, speak.
Well, this afternoon, I saw a letter from the colonel which said that the regiment would not be arriving until my birthday.
So, that is good. Release him, set them loose. With no water.
Huh?
The desert will take care of them, and we will take care of the regiment.
Aha! Stand back, more cautions!
It is the relief column. Legionnaire, you gave me your honor they would not arrive until your birthday.
Well, it's my birthday today, you silly old fool. All together, please. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday.
Well, now it's time for the song spot, so follow the bouncing ball with Steve and Albert.
Your finger and you scraped your knee, and so you decided to come back to me and follow, yes, follow the bouncing ball, follow it over the wall, mellow and yellow and tangerine, bouncing through the rhythm of my tambourine. From your world out there, you re-entered my atmosphere. I won't ask you what you went to see. I'll just let you come back to me and follow, yes, follow the bouncing ball. Follow it over the wall. Mellow and yellow and tangerine, bouncing through the rhythm of my tambourine.
see. What have you got in the parcel, Mr. Derrick?
Well, this is something I promised you, Basil. Your brand new serial story.
Oh, marvellous. I say, what's it about?
This is the story about knights.
Arabian Nights?
No.
Bath Nights?
No. Knights in armour, you nut.
Oh.
And the hero's name is Basil.
Basil, that's my name. Is he a goodie?
Yes, he's a goodie.
Oh, goodie. I don't like baddies.
Now listen.
Yes. Oh, dear.
Ready?
I beg your pardon.
In days of old, England, under the feudal system,
Yes.
was not a happy place for the commoners of the country, who lived in virtual slavery under their lords and masters, the barons. These avaricious landowners held indisputable rights to the services of all their tenants, the soakmen, the cottars, the bordars, and the colliberts.
Oh, I know a collie named Bert. Yes. Awfully nice chap. I wish he'd have his hair cut, though.
A collibert was a peasant man.
So is Bert the collie. Very pleasant.
Will you please listen?
Yes, of course. I'm all ears.
And the serfs were forced to labour unceasingly to eke a bare living from the land. Most of their money went on taxes.
Oh, I know, Mr. Derrick. They're very expensive, aren't they? The driver charged me 7 and 6pence to come from Piccadilly to Shepherd's Bush this morning. So I paid him in half a crown.
They didn't have taxes in those days.
Oh, think themselves jolly lucky. It's a lot cheaper on the bus. Come on.
Most of their money went on taxes,
Yes.
which the barons used for the upkeep of their castles and private armies. The overlords lived in luxury and doomed their unfortunate serfs to a life of miserable poverty.
Yes.
It was a common sight in the fields to see these small groups of roughly dressed peasants digging and furrowing and pulling beet.
Beat groups.
In contrast to the elegance of their masters' baronial halls, the serfs were forced to live in rough cottages. One such humble dwelling housed our hero, a farmer and a son of toil.
Why didn't he clear it up?
Clear what up?
That ton of soil. It'll ruin his carpets, you know.
He didn't have any carpets.
Didn't he?
He was a son of toil,
Oh.
who had been brought up by a foster father, old Farmer William,
Oh.
who had met with a sudden end, killed in the woods by a bunch of varlets.
That's unusual, isn't it? I mean, every Mother's Day I take my mum a bunch of violets. They haven't done her any harm.
They're not violets. Varlets, bandits, robbers.
Oh, baddies.
Baddies.
Continue.
And so the young man never learned his true origin, or how he came to live with a kindly farmer. And after the death of his foster father, he continued to live and work on the small holding, and was known to everyone as Basil of the farmer.
Of the farmer?
Yes, son of the farmer William.
Oh.
And was classed as such. Basil was a villain.
I thought you said he was a goodie.
He is a goodie.
Well, how can a villain be a goodie?
No, not a villain, a villain. It's another name for a serf.
Oh, confusing, isn't it?
Not if you listen.
No, I'm all ears.
Basil was a villain whose appearance belied his station. He was tall and straight, with handsome aristocratic features, and his gentleness masked a great physical strength. One morning, Basil arose from his palliasse.
He what?
He arose from his palliasse. You know what a palliasse is?
Yes, it's a friendly donkey. Friendly donkey!
Palliasse is a mattress made of sacking and straw.
Oh, you wouldn't have known, would you?
And set off for his daily labours in the fields with only his true friend and workmate, Harold, a magnificently built Shire horse, about 20 hands at least.
Horses don't have hands. They have hooves.
You measure the height of a horse by hands. It means that Harold stood 20 hands high. It's about 7 feet.
Oh, most horses have only got 4.
Forget it.
Yes, let's forget it.
The field to be ploughed that day was bordered on one side by a lake. They had hardly completed one furrow at the lakeside when the ploughshare struck something metallic, buried in the earth.
Oh, he ought to call a policeman.
Whatever for?
Oh, well, he's found an unexploded bomb. They're all over the place, you know.
This is 800 years ago. They didn't have bombs in those days, or policemen.
Oh, when they wanted to know the time, who did they ask?
They used a sundial.
Oh, I've got a sundial in my garden. Yes, I've just had a light put over the top of it.
What for?
Well, so that I can tell the time at night. Come on.
Basil threw the plough to one side and began to remove the earth from around the buried object. After an hour's digging, there lay revealed a large iron chest. He dragged it from the hole and inspected the rusty padlock which secured the lid. One good blow should move this, he thought, and raised his spade above his head. "Ho there, serf! The harsh voice from behind him made Basil freeze momentarily. Then, lowering the spade, he turned to see a man in the trappings of a nobleman. He knew that cruel face immediately.
He was a baddie.
He was a baddie.
A baddie.
There stood Sir Jasper Fitzwaddle, the sadistic bullying son of the Baron. "What are you stealing there, you peasant dog?" said Sir Jasper. "I was stealing nothing, my lord," replied Basil. "I was ploughing this." "Don't argue with me, serf!"
I didn't say anything.
"Don't argue with me, serf!"
Oh, blimey.
Screamed Sir Jasper, and drawing his sword, the enraged nobleman lunged at the defenceless young farmer. Basil ducked under the blade, grabbed the collar of Sir Jasper's tunic, and rolling backwards, gave a mighty upward thrust with his feet.
Oh, I've seen Mick McManus do that to Jackie Pallow. Yes. He didn't like it, you know.
The villainous Fitzwaddle flew high into the air, into the lake, to disappear beneath the surface in a profusion of bubbles.
Ah, poor old Fatswaller.
Not Fatswaller, huh? Fitzwaddle.
Fitzwaddle, that's right, Fitzwaddle, yes.
Basil got slowly to his feet and looked to the surface of the lake, then plunged into the water. He dived several times but could not find the body of his attacker, and eventually gave up the search, climbed wearily onto the bank, realizing that if the Baron discovered his connection with the disappearance of his heir...
Had he gone bald?
I don't know whether he's gone bald or not.
Well, you said that his hair disappeared.
His son and heir.
Oh, they both disappeared.
If the Baron discovered his connection with the disappearance of his heir, his own life would be forfeit.
Yes.
Let's see what dark mystery this ill-fated box conceals. And with his spade, he struck off the padlock and threw back the lid. And there, to his astonished gaze, were all the accoutrements of a knight.
Pyjamas and a hot water bottle.
No! A full suit of armour, sword, shield, all with a thin film of rust, but strong and beautifully worked. "By my word, Harold," cried Basil, "this shall be my destiny. No more farming for us, my friend. Though of lowly birth, I shall don the trappings of a noble knight and go forth to fight against injustice. No more am I Basil of Farmer William, but Basil de Farmer, defender of the right." Well, that's it for this week, Basil. I'll tell you more next Thursday, Basil, about Basil.
Basil?
Yes. Listen next week to the adventures of Basil de Farmer, defender of the right. The days of old when men of honour battled for their rights.
The land was filled with castles and the days were filled with knights.
Basil was a farmer's boy who won 1,000 fights. Villains used to tremble when they heard his name. He found a suit of armour and he cleaned it till it shone.
He had to use a spanner when he put his trousers on.
He vowed to fight oppression until tyranny was gone.
And everywhere he went, they heard his battle cry.
He was a brave, brave man.
Basil the farmer, the man in shining armour,
fought against injustice with his sword held high, and all his enemies used to tremble at